of the National Football League. And we'll see the rookie from Pitt, Kenny Pickett. He's coming off a nice week throwing the ball. 4 touchdown throws. It's the Steelers and the Browns on Thursday night.
First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. Pittsburgh's offense making its way out, and we get a look at the player drafted to succeed Ben Roethlisberger as the franchise's quarterback. Knows a lot about the city. He's a rookie out of Pitt, Kenny Pickett.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP. Already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
And here's Pickett to put it in the air off the bat. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. And that one broken up by Martin Emerson. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
They have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
They're going for it. This is Harris. And some room to roam now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
I'm laughing because I'm not so sure I would have made this call. I'm not so sure I would have said, yeah, let's go ahead and get this one, especially at this point of the game. But give him credit. He had a feeling and carried it through.
Yeah, that's one where you think, okay, if you're down, 2 minutes left, the ball's near midfield, you go for it. But at this stage, at that part of the field, but like you said, it worked. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now here's another carry for Harris. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 13 carries, 94 yards, and a score.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
A give to Harris. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. The Steelers at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 45-yard line. Pickett now on 1st down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. They'll run. Here's Harris. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 46 yards rushing for him already. A terrific opening drive on the ground, and it's a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now Pickett. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Pickett. Rolling. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Pickett and the Steelers in need of a big play here. 3rd and long after the sack. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because Covered was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns on their way out now for the first time, and we'll also get a look at the player brought in from Houston to run this offense, and that's Deshaun Watson.
Well, the silver lining from last week, he played phenomenally, kept the ball clean, and led them to the end zone several times. You know these NFL quarterbacks, though, they trade away all those touchdowns if it meant getting the win. That's his focus this week.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. Open man right side, Myers. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw is Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers and running back Najee Harris. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. They'll run with Harris. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Play action, Pickett. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. He's got a man, complete. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 51 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Pickett back to throw. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson, his first touchdown of the new season. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Just a 4-play drive that time.
And in the end, it was Deontay Johnson's touchdown catch to cap the drive.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Peoples-Jones going to love not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense.
And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Watson. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper.
And he is going to have the Browns first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Watson hooking up with Cooper there for the Cleveland first.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Watson trying to get his guys moving. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Now Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
And this will be taken at the 13.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Steelers. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Pickett.
His throw incomplete.
Well, they approach this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Harris. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. They run for it with Harris. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Backed up where they were on this side of the field, that was a gutsy call.
A gutsy call that never should have happened. Not so much them going for it. That's their decision. But where's the defensive front? Where's the leverage? Where's the low man wins? Where's getting into the offensive backfield and spilling the play? How did they permit them to pick up a first down in that situation?
Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a third down and 8.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, third and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Final play of the first half. Here's Pickett.
And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to our Tiburon Studios here in Orlando. We'll take a minute and look ahead at what's to come this weekend in week number 3. Some good games starting in the early window on Sunday, and one of the big ones features the New England Patriots as they'll take on the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Then later, they'll let the sun die down a bit in Tampa. A late start here in Florida, where it'll be the Buccaneers taking on the Green Bay Packers. And finally, an early season battle in the NFC East. Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Steelers. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Browns, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports.
Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Browns offense getting set to go to work here to start the third.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Fielded just inside the 20.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
First and 10, here's Pickett.
He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Back to throw. Pickett.
Here's Johnson with a reception. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
Delay of game, offense.
Come on, baby, we got to do our job. We got to do our job.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
One from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long.
Pickett.
Going up top for Miller. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. When the guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
He's going to go up top again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line.
They'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Now Watson.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted.
William Jackson with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down with Pickett.
Throw left side complete.
That's Johnson. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Pickett to throw on first down. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. This is caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They bring pressure there on 3rd down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure their guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the 1st down.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4.
Again, it's Harris, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defense.
That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Steelers are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes our score 17-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Cleveland offense making their way out. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
91 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point in the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On third down, here's Harris. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. But just add that to the list of great moments for this defense today. They've really shredded that game plan on the other side all 4 quarters. And, Charles, that pick six, that's kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah, and they did it, and I feel like I'm quoting a bad movie line, but they did it together, didn't they? Fed off of each other, every big play they made, every tackle, every pick, everything they've done. They continually built energy in this one, and how about them culminating with a pick six?
Boswell for the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Browns getting set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Another attempt now from 5 yards further back. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep.
So for Pittsburgh, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.
Got your best friend hanging out the arm, though. Got game like